ईरान से मुतल्लिक मेरा सवाल है कि ईरान में मौजूदा हालात के पेश नज़र उन्होंने जो रेट्स है वो भी बंद कर दिए, लेकिन उसके बावजूद जो अमेरिका है वो मुसलसल धमकियां दे रहा है। तो इस पर अगर पाकिस्तान की पोजीशन वाज़ेह करे, ऐसा लग रहा है कि अमेरिका एक मरतबा फिर इस खत्ते में जो है वो कोई मिलिटेंसी करना चाहता है या अटैक करना चाहता है, तो इस पर अगर पाकिस्तान की पोजीशन वाज़ेह करे। थैंक यू।
So let me answer, we'll come back to it. As you would aware, western region of Saudi Arabia is home to about 1.8 million Pakistanis, and this new chancellery building and its facilities will improve service delivery for the Pakistani community there, making their visits a pleasant experience and provides better venues for community welfare events for the Pakistani community there, making their visits a pleasant experience and provides better venues for community welfare events and functions. Moving on to DPM Foreign Minister's telephone calls this week. He held telephone conversation. He received a telephone call from the Foreign Minister of Uzbekistan, Bakhtiar Saidov, reaffirming the strong and growing Pakistan-Uzbekistan bilateral relations. The two FMs underscored the importance of sustained momentum in political, economic and cultural engagements, including through continued high-level leadership exchanges, and they also agreed to maintain close contact to follow up on ongoing initiative and explore new avenues of collaboration. Our Deputy Prime Minister, Foreign Minister also spoke with the Foreign Minister of Iran, Sayyid Abbas Araghchi, and discussed current developments in Iran. He reaffirmed the importance of sustained dialogue and engagement, and both sides agreed to continue to maintain close contacts. The Deputy Prime Minister, Foreign Minister, then held a telephone conversation with the Myanmar Foreign Minister, U Than Soe. Both leaders underscored the importance of resolving regional issues through peaceful dialogue and agreed to remain in close and constructive engagement on matters of mutual interests. The Deputy Prime Minister, Foreign Minister spoke with the Minister for Investment, Roshan Roiselani, Minister for Investment and Downstream Industry and Chief Executive Office of Indonesian Sovereign Wealth Fund. Danantara is the name for that sovereign wealth fund. The discussions focused on strengthening economic and investment partnerships between Pakistan and Indonesia, and both sides reviewed potential avenues for investment collaboration and mutually beneficial projects. So with this, I come to the end of my opening remarks, and now I open the floor for question answers. जी ज़िशान।
थैंक यू स्पोक्सपर्सन। ईरान से मुतल्लिक मेरा सवाल है कि ईरान में मौजूदा हालात के पेश नज़र उन्होंने जो रेट्स है वो भी बंद कर दिए, लेकिन उसके बावजूद जो अमेरिका है वो मुसलसल धमकियां दे रहा है। तो इस पर अगर पाकिस्तान की पोजीशन वाज़ेह करे, ऐसा लग रहा है कि अमेरिका एक मरतबा फिर इस खत्ते में जो है वो कोई मिलिटेंसी करना चाहता है या अटैक करना चाहता है, तो इस पर अगर पाकिस्तान की पोजीशन वाज़ेह करे। थैंक यू।
So let me answer, we'll come back to it. Pakistan is closely following the developments related to the situation in Iran. We attach great importance to Iran, both as a neighboring country and as an important player of international community and an important member of global fraternity. Pakistan hopes that peace and stability will prevail, and we reaffirm our support for all efforts aimed at peaceful resolution of the situation. As a neighbor, friend, and brotherly, I understand that the recent protests were triggered by economic difficulties faced by ordinary citizens, which have been further exacerbated, compounded by international sanctions. So we sincerely hope that the livelihood and financial support measures announced by the Iranian government for traders and general public will help alleviate the hardship faced by the people, and we offer our best wishes towards that endeavor. Pakistan remains confident that the Iranian nation will overcome these challenges and emerge stronger. A stable and peaceful Iran free from domestic unrest is in Pakistan's interest. We have full confidence in the wisdom of the Iranian people and the leadership, a wisdom rooted in their rich culture, ancient civilization, history, and resilience to address all the challenges confronting them. And just a subtext to this, let me add that you may recall that we had issued a press release on a travel advisory. So we would reiterate that our citizens who are considering to travel their plans may consider so with keeping in mind that advisory and extreme caution to ensure their safety, security. And in this regard, the travel advisory and the context number that we gave would be referred. Our embassy in Tehran, Ambassador Mudassar Tipu, and his team are working diligently to ensure that Pakistanis in Iran are well looked after. Thank you. Ji Azad Sayyid Sahab.
Tahir Sahab, within last 24 hours, American government has suspended the immigration visa processes of 75 countries, including Pakistan. We claim that we have very good ties with America, and our top personalities and prime minister have met with the American president, but this has happened. What is the background of it, and how you see this? At the same time, we have seen reports that India is not included in the list. Pakistan is in the list. Thank you.
Yes, we have also seen these reports that basically it was a brief statement by the US State Department on their social media account about the internal review of processing immigrant visas, that they are in a process of that. So we are in touch with the US authorities to ascertain further details. This is an evolving news that we are following. We understand that this is an internal ongoing process of review of US immigration policies and system, and hope that the routine processing of immigrant visa will resume soon. Thank you. Ji.
Thank you, sir. This is Hussain Raza from Pakistan Television. Sir, how does Pakistan view a conviction of Asia Andrabi Sahiba and her associates by a Delhi court in Sham trials?
Yes, we have seen these news about the conviction. We strongly condemn the conviction of prominent Kashmiri political leaders, political activist Sayyida Asia Andrabi Sahiba, along with her two associates, Fahmida Sufi Sahiba and Nahida Nasreen. This was by a Delhi court in yet another fabricated case and after sham trials. This conviction underscores the continued misuse of draconian laws to silence legitimate political voices in the Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir. Asia Andrabi Sahiba has spent several years in incarceration for peacefully advocating the fundamental rights and freedom of the Kashmiri people. Her conviction reflects a broader pattern of reprisals, intimidation and coercion faced by the genuine Kashmiri leadership. Similarly, the conviction of Fahmida Sufi Sahiba and Nahida Nasreen Sahiba further evidences the consistent and systemic invocation of draconian laws provisions to criminalize legitimate Kashmiri leadership and advocacy for human rights and fundamental freedom. And the manifest object of this persecution is the entrenching and perpetuation of Indian illegal occupation of Jammu and Kashmir. The targeting of Kashmiri women leaders is particularly deplorable as they have endured prolonged detention for peaceful political expression. So 8 years imprisonment, Assia Andrabi Sahiba has languished more than 8 years in prison.